Welcome to fourth grade health. This is lesson 167. We're looking at pages 99 to 101, all right? Then for homework, you're gonna reread pages 94 to 100, and you're going to list 4 ways, do this on a piece of paper, list 4 ways of how you can have a healthy relationship with God, okay? So that's what you're gonna be doing for homework, but also we're going to be after we look at the last little bit, we're going to start some review in from other chapters. Okay, so caring about your family. Now I know that none of you live alone. You live with other people. You live with your family, and you need to be showing courtesy to them. And so it being helpful in all areas really helps your parents if you're being responsible for what you have and helping your siblings maybe with their responsibilities. Sometimes it's fun and makes it more enjoyable if you can make a game out of what you're doing. So it says there to try when you make your bed, you do that every day. So time yourself with a watch that has a second hand or a stopwatch and see how long it takes you to make your bed without wrinkles. Try to get that down in record time, okay? And so that's fun to do that thing. And maybe other chores that you do all the time, see how fast you can get them done and doing them well, not just to get them done, but doing them well. You're going to develop, a close relationship with your family because you live in the same house, but you want to make sure that you're doing your part, that you're not being, you're having a good attitude about things, you're obeying. When I was younger, we said, I love you every once in a while. I think I was more affectionate with my mom on that line than with my dad. But after I went to college, and there were just some different things that happened, maybe not really to me, but things that I'd heard about that had happened. And so we started making it a habit, and I kind of started it. And so now they do it automatically. But I felt like, if I talked to them on the phone, I didn't want the last thing that they heard was just me saying bye. I wanted them to know that I really cared about them. And so at the end of every phone call with my parents, I always say, I love you. And that it just reminds me of my love and care for them, and it reminds them. And then they usually say it back. And so it's something that we've made a habit because it's an important thing for us to share with each other, that we care about each other, that we truly love each other. Do you obey your parents in all things? That shows that you care about them too, is by obeying them in the small things and in the big things. And one of the things that you can do as you are getting older, you do spend more time with your friends as you get older. So you need the right friends. You need to make friends that encourage you to do what's right instead of encouraging you to do what's wrong. We're trying to see, let's see if we can get away with this. That's not a good, healthy way to live, because then you're always thinking, well, what if I don't get away with it? And what if I get caught? And that's not, it causes stress and anxiety in your life. But you want to be doing things that are pleasing to God and pleasing to your parents. If your parents, they want what's best for you, and so you want to do those things that are best. And so this exercise for fitness, the throw and catch, we're maybe we can play this when we get together for our picnic, if we can get together for the picnic. And if you come, some of these games that we've been talking about, remind me, and we'll see if we can play some of them. But that's all we've got. So you're going to finish, you're going to reread that chapter, well, 94 to 100, and then list those 4 ways to have a healthy relationship with God. Let's go ahead and get some review. We're going to start with some review of chapter 3. All right, so I'll ask some questions. All right. What is this part of the respiratory system? What is the pharynx? The pharynx. That's your throat, right? Okay, what about the trachea? The trachea, what part is that called? What's the other name for it? The windpipe, okay, the windpipe. What about the voice box? Your voice box is your larynx, okay? You can get laryngitis, and that means that you can't talk, okay? So that's your voice box. A hollow cavity in the front of your skull is a sinus, good. A tiny flap of cartilage that covers the entrance of the trachea. Epiglottis, that's kind of a fun word to say, epiglottis. The muscle which separates the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity. Diaphragm, good job. Air sacs inside the lungs are called alveoli. The moist lining inside the openings of the body. The mucous membrane. Sticky fluid produced by the mucous membrane is mucus, good. The hair-like structures along the surface of the mucous membrane. Cilia. 2 branches of the trachea that lead to the lungs. They're called the bronchi. The 2 temporary storehouses for the air the body inhales. That's your lungs. Okay, good job. What important gas in the air does the body inhale? Oxygen. And what waste gas does the body exhale? Carbon dioxide. Good job. What is the major purpose of the respiratory system? To exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide between the air and the blood. Good job. What should you do before beginning any strenuous activity? Warm up gradually and slowly. What does the body need after a strenuous activity? Cool off gradually and slowly. Good job. We're going to move on and ask some questions from the next chapter, chapter 4. What is calculus? Calculus, not the math. A hardened buildup of plaque. Good job. Cementum is the thin covering over the root of the tooth which holds the tooth firmly together. Dental caries are what? Decay of teeth or cavities. Dentin is what? A hard bone-like tissue which forms and shapes the tooth. Enamel. Substance which covers the crown of the tooth is the hardest substance in your body. Malocclusion. What is that? The improper fitting together of the upper and lower teeth. Orthodontist is who? A dentist who specializes in treating malocclusion. What is a sticky, colorless film of harmful bacteria which is constantly forming on and between the teeth? Plaque. What's the inner part of a tooth containing nerves and blood vessels? Pulp. And the digestive juice in your mouth is called saliva. Very good. What is formed when sugar mixes with the plaque? Acid. When are plaque-producing bacteria the most active? At night, because the salivary glands release less saliva then, so they can't kill as much of the bacteria. What causes halitosis? Bacteria that grow in your mouth, breathing through your mouth, some foods and infection. What mineral is absorbed by the enamel on teeth, making the enamel more resistant to acid attacks? Fluoride. When should you brush your teeth? As soon as possible after you eat and at bedtime. How often should you floss your teeth? At least once a day. Why is it important to floss correctly? Improper flossing can injure your gums. What disease causes infection of the gums and bones supporting the teeth? Periodontal disease. Periodontal disease. If a tooth is knocked out, what part of the tooth should not be touched? The root. The root. And what is a balanced diet? A variety of foods that contains all the nutrients necessary to keep you healthy. All right, that is a review of chapters 3 and 4. We're going to look at all the other chapters and get you guys ready for the test in the next lesson and the following one after that too. So just get ready for this for the very end, and we will see you tomorrow in the lessons.